In the meantime, as my movie compresses, let me show you or introduce you to some of the other windows that appear in the compressor interface. On the left-hand side here, we've got the inspector. And the inspector, as many other Apple applications, it's contextual to whatever is selected. So in this case, I've got the settings over here for this particular H.264 version. So what we're saying here are the properties for that particular selection. Here in the inspector, this is where you can come and tweak the settings if you need to get into the details of how the video is going to be compressed. Over here on the right-hand side, you get the preview window. And for the most part, the preview window displays most of the variables that you can change in the inspector. As you can see, you get a scrub bar. And by scrubbing, you get to see on one side the original movie, and the other side roughly what the different change in values that you're setting in the inspector. In this case, there's very little change, and that's why you don't get to see much of a difference. Okay, this thing has finished encoding. There is no feedback as it has finished, except that the progress bar is gone. And now we get this little magnifying glass. If you click on the magnifying glass, it opens up the folder that contains the output movies. And these are the two output movies that were generated. Let me select both of them. And I'm going to open them with the QuickTime Player. So as you can see, this is the one for the iPhone, as per the name.
This creamy risotto with chanterelle and porcini mushrooms does involve some of the old labor of love. But to me, this is part of the reason why it's so satisfying.
I hope that you're not hungry, because this is one of the videos from the Ruby website.
Or just have a big bowl of it all on its own.
And then the other one here, this is a large version for the web. In this case, it's an 800 kilobit per second movie that has a width of 854 pixels by 480. Let's just preview a few seconds of it. I'm not going to play the whole thing.
This creamy risotto with chanterelle and porcini mushrooms does involve some of the old labor of love. But to me, this is part of the reason why it's so satisfying.
You get the idea there. Now maybe go to the Finder and let's find some information about these two movies. This first one is 21 seconds. Actually, both of them are 21 seconds, but this one is 2.2 megabytes. And then the other one is 4.3 megabytes. So as you can see, this one is 640 by 360. And the other one is 854 by 480. Now, this is kind of interesting. If you notice, the one that has a larger window size has a smaller file size. And the other one, which is a little bit smaller, is somewhat larger in terms of the document size. The reason for this particular document being larger is because this one is for the iPhone. And with the iPhone, since you can get the video directly into the device by syncing it with iTunes, you don't have to go through a web download like you do in this other setting here. That's why this other downloaded movie, it's a little bit smaller in terms of the file size. So there you go. The workflow, it's actually very basic. It's taking the video from Final Cut, putting it into a job in Compressor, attaching a couple of settings, and then submitting the job to get compressed by the system.